What's up, everybody? Today, I'm bringing you my non-spoiler thoughts on Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I want to start off by saying I was not a player of the game, so I went into this hoping to just see a good movie, and I got exactly that. I think it can appeal to non-players the same way that Game of Thrones appealed to non-readers of the books. The approach to transition from medium to medium felt very similar, and it worked well, regardless of if that's what they were going for or not. But I just want you to keep in mind that I am not someone who's played the games, so if you have, we may differ on how we feel about this movie. Now let's get into it. First off, the comedy in this movie is absolutely amazing. I had my doubts going into it, to be quite honest, even rolling my eyes at a couple moments in the trailers, but when the scenes I had rolled my eyes at had context and were the entire sequences, the comedy worked really well and was quite enjoyable. There was a delightful cameo from none other than Bradley Cooper that I was unaware of going into it, that I absolutely ended up loving. I mean, Bradley Cooper alone is amazing, but the way he appears makes it all the more fun, and that's all I'll say on that, as I don't want to spoil anything. On top of that, Chris Pine is phenomenal. I don't want to say this like it was a bounce back for him, it was just one of his best performances, in my opinion. There's a really great scene with him doing something I'd never expect Chris Pine to do, but it got a good chuckle out of myself and my entire theater, which was packed, by the way. And then one last note on the comedy: Hugh Grant's Forge stole the show the second he stepped on screen. The best way to describe his character is if Nigel Powers had the personality mixed with Dr. Evil's, and it was perfect. Now we gotta talk about some of the standout performances. Before we get started though, I'm gonna let you know ahead of time, you're gonna get some fan casting in these for other projects, because there's two actresses in particular that could kill two roles in other IPs. First off though, I want to once again give props to Chris Pine for his role as Edgin. I didn't love him in either Wonder Woman movie, and to be honest with you, I haven't gotten around to Don't Worry Darling, so I'm not sure how he's in that, but this is one of the best performances I've seen out of him, as I said before. There were some repetitive moments in the film that would usually bother me, but the way he executed them kept it fresh and comical. Then, there's Sophia Lillis. This is one of the actresses I have a fan casting for, so I'll get it out of the way. I'd love to see Sophia take on the role of Barbara Gordon in the DCU. She has the look and the personality for it, so James Gunn, I hope you're listening. But back to Doric, besides her character just being really cool at face value, Sophia brings a masterclass performance to the role that lit up the screen whenever she was on it. Not to mention the owl bear was one of the coolest things I've ever seen and looked amazing. It boggles me how this movie's budget was only $150 million because it looked like it cost a lot more. Finally, Daisy Head is Sophina, the Red Witch. This is of course the next fan casting, and it's based on the snarkiness she brought to the role, but if Dave Filoni ever chose to bring Asajj Ventress into live action, I'd look no further than Daisy because she's great for the role. Now with the Red Witch, she was phenomenal as well. One scene in particular, she drops this chilling line to an assassin that really got me hooked on her character. And before I move on, I don't want those three picks to come off as everyone else didn't give a good performance. Those I mentioned were just the great ones in my opinion. Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean Page, and Justice Smith were all really good in the core 4 group as well. Now let's finish this up by acknowledging the incredible VFX on this movie. As I mentioned before, this movie only cost $150 to make, plus marketing, and that was a jaw-dropping revelation for me. From the Displacer Beast in the arena to Doric's druid transformations into the beast such as the owl bear, it all looked amazing. There's another amazing scene that kicks off the last major sequence of the movie that fleshes out a scene from earlier in the movie, and it's visually stunning. Watching the magic at work both from afar and up close, I can't applaud the work they did on this movie anymore. Anyway, that'll do it for this non-spoiler review of Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. If you enjoy going to the theater for a good time, you must go check this out. I get there's John Wick 4 and Super Mario Bros. Taking the shine away, but I believe this movie will have a long run, so maybe once you've seen the other two, if those are the ones you prefer, go check this one out because I don't think you'll regret it. And if you've already seen the movie, leave your thoughts down in the comments below and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the news and content coverage in the nerdy world. And most importantly, have a great day.